Hello. Yeah, welcome back again to your third tutorial on project management. Remember, this is LJ tutorial. Do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If possible, share the links on your Facebook page, Twitter. Let people come and learn about PMP. It's totally free. Okay, now let's go ahead. Today, our topic today, it's quite a short one. Is the PM processes. Can you remember the PM processes from the previous lectures? Yeah. I, P, E, M, C, C. Initiation, planning, executing, monitoring and control, closing. So that's what we are going to be covering today. So our topic today, the project management processes. Now, what's a process? A process is a set of interrelated actions and activities performed to create a product. Now, when you're performing an interrelated actions, that's a process. So what then? It's a process. What are then the PM processes? I, P, E, M, C, C. Initiation. Now, in initiation, what we are actually doing in the initiation stage is we are trying to define the reason for a new project. Do you get the idea? We are trying to say this project is to build a house. That's the initiation. We are trying to define why are we carrying out the project. In planning, we are trying to establish the scope, redefine the objective, and define the course of action. In simple terms, we are planning. Say, yeah, this work we are trying to build a duplex. We are going to need a quantity surveyor. We are going to need a concrete mixer. We are going to need anything that's going to be needed for a project. We are actually knowing what and what, or who, what, who, when in our project. Then executing is, now this is the actual work being performed. Now remember from that chart I showed you in the previous tutorial, in the execution work, now everybody comes on board, the experts, the consultants, the work is going on. Now in monitoring and control, we are trying to track, review and regulate the processes or the progress of the work, to make sure that it's in line with what we agreed upon, what was planned. And we are in closing group, we are just trying to come back to our client and say, hey, this is what you asked for, we have done this, so are you okay with it? So now this is what the PM process interaction. Now when you initiate a project, you plan and you execute it. Now this is like a cyclic loop. Now you continue going and going until you can now close the project. While this is going on, at that same time you'll be monitoring and controlling the project. So you see, now it's like you can't say you plan is something that's done virtually throughout the project, because in case a team member should leave the project, you have to plan for getting someone to replace him. Then also this graph tries to show the level of interaction between the project management processes. The initiation is always high during the beginning of the project and dies off rapidly on the project. Though you don't initiate up to the middle of the project because you already know what you want to do before you commence the project. Planning extends virtually throughout the project, but its peak is before execution. Now in planning, you're trying to know who, what, when it's on the project. So it's along the line. After the initiation, it rises up, then extends to virtually to the end of the project. Now execution takes its peak immediately after the peak of planning. I get it. It rises up rapidly and have a slopey end. Now monitoring and control, you won't need much people in your PM office, so that's why if you look at this PM process group, is not so high. I getting it now. It virtually goes throughout the project, because even when you initiate your project, you have to make sure that the documentation for initiating a project is correct. Then also closing starts somewhere around the middle to the end. Now closing, you ask, what are we closing here? You'll find out as you go. You would want to close out some deliverables. Maybe we have to build a house. You can break down the project into various deliverables: foundation, lintel, and the rest. If you're done with the foundation, we can close that particular deliverable. So that's why it starts somewhere. The initiating process group. Now you are just trying to say, what is this project about? What are the objectives of this project? We are building a house. Should it be yellow? Should it be green? That's what happens in initiation. During planning, we are just trying to say, I know this project is to build a house. When should the quantity surveyor come in? When should we buy a land? When should we collect money from the sponsor? That's what you are doing in planning. You're just trying to establish the total scope of the project. You're trying to know the efforts, define and redefine the objectives. Now, most likely you call consultants or experts in the field. They will redefine your objectives and develop the best course of action to achieve your objectives. Then execution, the actual work is going on. Now, the actual work is going on, and as the work is going on, you will find results will be coming on, and this might require you to re-establish a baseline. That you were working, and as you're working, you might find out that the project that was slated for $2 million, it can't work. That it's now going to have the expected final sum of the project will be $2.2 million. So you have to re-establish a new cost baseline. Monitoring and control shouldn't. There are two different terms. I know they sound similar, but in controlling, you're actually recommending corrective and preventive actions. Now, in monitoring, you're making sure that the project is in line with an agreed baseline or a performance index. So that's what you are doing in monitoring and control. Then we'll talk about the closing. In closing, we are bringing the project back to the client and said, you asked for a duplex that is yellow. Now, are you okay with this duplex? Are you okay with the yellow paint? Are you okay that the building has a foundation in the ground? Because most likely your building should have the foundation in the ground, except you want to build it up in the air. So then that's what the PM process is all about. Now, the next series of video will be on the knowledge areas. Each of the knowledge areas will be handled independently. Now, the first one we'll start with is integration. After integration, we'll go into scope and so on. So now, try to know your exam in the PMP is based on the knowledge areas and the PMP process. Now, so just try and understand this. Then on page 61 of your PM book, you would see this chart. It just tries to show you the relationship between the project management processes and the knowledge areas. So from the next video, I would be discussing in details the knowledge areas one after the other. So this is the end of the video. It's a short one. Please do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. You can also share the link to other friends so that they can come and learn about project management. Thank you. Welcome. Have a nice day ahead.